Hey! As you guys know, clients generally come to us when they face challenges with their supply chain or cross-border trade in Africa, Middle East. Today we will be looking at a challenge that a client faced in Ghana. Their shipments were completely stopped and their supply chain bogged down when customs uplifted their shipment and queried the valuation. We were able to step into the situation, resolve the valuation query, and help them to clear their shipments, have the valuation accepted by customs, and they were able to continue to trade. But how do you do that? And that is what we will be looking into today. Okay, so in Ghana, there is a number of things that you need to know when you have a dispute or where your shipment is uplifted due to valuation. Okay, point one. In Ghana, although their legislation is already far developed and although they are a signatory to GATT, a member of the World Customs Organization and the WTO, their legislation is not as far developed in order to incorporate the entire or all articles of GATT. Therefore, you need to know if you have a dispute to follow the local legislation and the procedures described therein. So make sure you get the local legislation and argue from that point. Then it will definitely count in your advantage. Good, then point two. Point two is important to note that Ghana has gone through a couple of repetitions of implementing their single window system. However, these system repetitions does cause sometimes iterations where the system is not yet fully capable of doing everything that traders need to do. Valuation up until the full bag is not yet fully implemented in their system, so it's important to understand that and to know that they are constantly improving that in order to make their system more adherent to the global trade environment. Okay, so point three. In Ghana, there is a lot of unfortunate corruption still at hand. So therefore, in disputes, the African way is still very much followed. However, you don't have to follow it. So the procedures for appeal and the procedures for disputes are really well defined. There are procedures that are all on the web, and actually the authorities do follow these. So if you follow them, they will be in your benefit and they will be able to help you with your trade discussions with the authorities. Point four. If you then have your argument straight, develop your valuation case, explain your situation, explain why your valuation is what it is, follow the procedures, submit your documentation, and follow through the process that is there. As well, if you need to have a discussion, go over to the customs authority, make an appointment with the appreciating officer, and make sure that they understand your arguments. Make sure that you have all your documentation ready, all the documentation that is required by law, have that with you so that you can have a meaningful discussion. In Ghana, the authorities actually know exactly what documentation is required. They do follow their procedures and their law. So if importers are then not prepared for that discussion, the importer has standing on their back foot and the authority does have the upper hand. If you, however, are the one with your documentation prepared, you are then ready for a discussion and able to find a compliant solution with the authority and find a solution to see this is your valuation and they are willing to listen to you. So be prepared. Lastly, point five. If you're an international manufacturing company that has shipments in the market, I need to advise you that unfortunately the market is not yet always fully prepared for global compliance. So I would recommend that you look at your supplier and audit them properly. Make sure that they understand valuation, make sure that they understand the procedures, and make sure that they understand your business model before you ask them to defend your case in front of customs. A lot of cases, the suppliers in the market, although they are operationally geared, do not yet have all the knowledge that they need in order to defend these cases. So therefore, you as an international manufacturing company, make sure that your arguments are solid, make sure that your supplier is trained, and make sure that you give them everything that they need in order to defend your case in front of the authorities. In essence, there is 5 points there. I hope you've enjoyed this presentation, and I hope it helps you a little bit if you have your next challenge potentially in Ghana. Remember, Ghana legislation, Ghana systems. Ghana has a local atmosphere of people doing potential corrupt ways. Don't follow that. Follow the procedures and make sure that your supplier is trained. See ya next time. Ciao.